a good throw, baby. Look at all those nice mullet. Hey, it's Florida Aquaman here, and I got another one for you guys today. We're gonna do some mullet fishing again, but we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna do a catch, cook, and clean of some yellow roe with some grits, and we're gonna do some fried mullet backbones. And I'm gonna give you guys some insider tips on what to look for if you're out here targeting the mullet on different tides and depending what the moon's doing. And I'm also gonna tell you guys how to avoid those rocks so you don't tear up your lower unit or prop. So tag along, this is gonna be a great video, so here we go. So as you guys can see, the tide is really low. You can see normally those rocks are not exposed. So when you guys are running out here and you got a negative tide like we got right now, you have to be very careful about rocks out here. Like I said, around the Hudson area south all the way to Tarpon Springs, and basically as far north as you can go in Northwest Florida, we get a lot of rocks, and it's a huge issue when we get a low tide because you've got to worry about busting your prop up, busting your lower unit. So I'm gonna give you guys the tips here to watch out for. So tip number one I'm gonna give you guys is get yourself a good set of polarized sunglasses. That's gonna help you guys see the rocks that are underwater, and it'll help you avoid them. Having a good set of eyes, good set of glasses will help you cut the glare, and you can see those rocks and avoid them. That'll save you a lot of time, money, and headache. See if I can get right up on this dolphin without bothering him too much. Get you guys a better view of him. Best fisherman in the sea right there. Check that out. See if he'll get closer, come say hi to us, huh? Here he comes. Pretty cool, huh? Amazing how shallow these guys will get to chase some mullet. Like I said, the only reason this dolphin is in here working his butt off is because there's mullet back in here. And that's what he's looking for. He's looking for a good old snap. If you look real close, you see that wake? Those are all mullet that are pushed up on the rocks. I don't know if you guys can see them, but what happens is when we get a really low tide, these mullet won't be able to push up on the rocks like they normally will, and they have to come off. And you can see they're just all around these rocks. But the reason I wanted to show you guys this is these rocks are completely submerged when we get a high tide. So this isn't a common area where you would run through, but this kind of gives you guys an example. If you were to run through here and the tide was slightly elevated, those rocks would be completely underwater. And if you hit that, that is not moving, that boulder, and you're gonna bust something. So that's the importance of paying attention to where you're running, where you're going. Be familiar with the area, put your time in, because you do not want to hit these rocks. But if you look around, man, there's some mullet hanging around here. So we're definitely gonna bust out the cast net and see what we can do. You can see the mullet are all around in these rocks swimming around. So I'm gonna show you guys one more time how I load this net. So like I said, first thing first, make sure you ain't got no tangles in that net, which I don't. Like I said, when I'm throwing on mullet, I'm usually throwing further out, so I'm not gonna use the normal shoulder method that I use. I'm gonna put it in my mouth. Grab the back of that net right here, put it in your mouth, and then go ahead and flip over half the net. Just like that, pinch it, and then you're gonna pinch it again with these two fingers. And I am good to go. I'm ready to fish. So if you look, the sun is out, and what that does is it makes it a lot harder to catch the mullet. They can see a lot easier. So when we came through there, we kind of spooked them out already. I didn't really creep up in there because I was trying to show you guys the rocks. So I came back around and they were super spooky. They're just running from the net, and that kind of makes it difficult because you'll throw the net on them and they'll scatter. and then you won't get any. So we're gonna try a different spot. So the ideal conditions to catch mullet, in my opinion, is a little bit not direct sunlight. You want a little bit of cloudiness, because what that does is it makes it harder for them to see you, but you can still see them. When we get a lot of sun out like today, that mullet can see you from a ways away. They got them big old eyes on them, and they get spooky, and it makes it a lot more difficult to see. A lot of times, even if you get on them and you throw the net on top of them, if they see you, they will scatter. They can beat that net. So like I said, ideally a little bit of cloud cover, but that's not the case. That's not what God gave us today, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. We'll try a different spot, see what we can find. Check it out, guys. That's an old well boat for mullet. You don't see that very often. And what those boats are designed to do is they have the motor up front, and what that does is that allows these guys to run shallower and run nets off the boat. Pretty cool. You guys don't see that too often. Last of their kind out there. So when you guys are running out here in these rocky areas of the West Coast, I can't tell you where every rock's gonna be, but I can give you guys kind of general rules of thumb so you can avoid most of the rocks. A lot of times when they dig out these channels, they will put rocks on the side of them. They will kind of dig them out and they will push them to the side. And normally those rocks are underwater at high tide. We're at a low tide right now. And you can see they run all the way out almost to the mouth of the channel. These are common rocks that people hit. What they'll do is they'll come across on a high tide and they will cut across the channel, and if they're not familiar with the area, they will hit those rocks. Like I said, these rocks are not marked. They have no PVC on them. There's no way of knowing they're out here unless you're familiar with the area. But like I said, if you guys are cutting across channels, you're not in the channel, you're cutting across, you need to be very aware that there is most likely rocks on either side of the channel. So something to definitely keep in mind. Be very careful when you guys are doing that, because it's definitely a huge issue. A huge thing to keep in mind when you're running is your speed. If you are not familiar with the area and it's a rocky area, you need to slow down. If you hit a rock doing 20, 25 miles an hour, it's not a huge issue. I've done it. It's just gonna bump you up. That's pretty much it. But if you're going 45, 50, and you hit a rock and you hit the bottom of the hole with it, it can eject you. I was talking to a guy that was out here fishing the other day back in the salt marsh, and he bought an SCB Recon that a guy bought, which is a very fast boat. I believe it had a 300 on the back. And the guy was driving 60 miles an hour and he hit one of these rock piles with the hull. It completely destroyed the boat. And both of the guys that were in the boat were ejected out of it. They both luckily survived, but the guy told me the hull was ripped up, the whole bottom, and he bought it, repaired it, and he was actually running it and fishing it. So you guys that buy these flats boats that are running out here on the West Coast with big motors on the back, be very careful about running fast in shallow water, because if you hit one of these piles and you're doing 50 or 60 miles an hour, it'll throw you out of the boat, and that might be your last time being in a boat. So like I said, keep it slow, 20 miles an hour. If you hit a rock, it's really not that big of a deal. You're going to definitely break something on your lower, but at least you and your passengers are going to be safe. So I'm going to show you guys some of the damage that can happen if you're running in shallow rocky areas and you got a flats boat. If you look, I got no skeg. If you check this out, my prop is pretty dinged up, and the prop shaft, if you look, is slightly bent. So I was running on an extremely negative tide, which we usually get on the full moon and new moon. That's when you get the biggest tidal swings. And I was running down a flat that I've run, not even exaggerating, hundreds of times. And this day it was just extremely low, and it was just enough where I tapped that skeg and it just caught. It was a light tap. It was literally like ding, and it was enough. This is aluminum to crack that skeg. as you can see. So you're gonna get guys that'll tell you they've been running over in those rocky areas, you know, Crystal River, Homosassa, over in Hudson, down the Newport Richie, there's a little bit of rocks too. And they will tell you that they've never hit nothing. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's baloney. If you guys are running shallow in those areas and you're running a lot, you're eventually gonna hit something. Luckily, I'm running a jack plate, as you can see, and I had it jacked all the way up, so I didn't hit my lower unit and crack it. But if I was not running a jack plate and I did not have that jacked up and I would have hit here, that would have cracked your lower, and then you would have had to replace this whole lower unit. And you're talking about a lower on this 90 is about 3,000. They can vary depending on what you guys got. If you guys got a bigger motor, you know, maybe you got Suzuki 350 or the 300 with the dual prop, then you're talking about $8,000 or $9,000 to get something like that fixed. So it's something you definitely want to watch. You guys want to be careful. So another quick tip for you guys, if you guys are running these shallow rocky areas and you're running them a lot, carry a spare prop. This is one that I tore up. It's really not fixable anymore, but definitely carry a spare. I've had it save me. I've been out there, tapped a rock real lightly and it spun the hub. And if I did not have another prop, I would have been stuck. So definitely carry a spare prop if you guys run in that rocky area. You know, north of Tarpon Springs, is all it takes is one time you get stuck out there, then you have to get, you know, $500–600 tow bill to get back in. You carry a prop, have a cheap one. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can have an aluminum one, just something that's got a hub in it. Carry some tools so you can swap it out. It's an easy swap on the water. It's not hard to do, and it'll save you guys a lot of headache, and it'll save you time. So if you guys ever have an issue with your lower unit, you guys hit a rock, you need a new skeg, you need your prop adjusted, you know, you need to get that prop shaft straightened, I got a really good guy. I got no affiliation with him. He doesn't even know I'm saying this, but he's a stand-up guy. He's called Dean. It's called Dean's Prop Shop over in Hudson, Florida. I've used him a ton of times. He does great work. He's a stand-up guy. He'll get you in and out quick. Somebody you can trust. Really hard to find nowadays, but I would definitely recommend him. I'm hesitant about giving him the information because the way these videos have been going lately, I don't want him to blow up and be busy and then I can't take my stuff to him. So I'm waiting to get this fixed. I don't want to be down a boat because my offshore boat is getting fixed in the shop right now. And as soon as that's ready, I'm going to go give this over to Dean and have him do his magic. Have him clean up that prop, you know, get it all straightened out and nice. Nice mullet, full of rope. That's a good throw, baby. Check out this throw. Check out all these mullet. We're gonna throw these in the cooler. Some more mullet. So another tip when you guys throw, a lot of guys that are really experienced that throw net are, you want to keep that net low. When you throw it, you kind of want it going like this. If you lob that net and it goes up like that, it gives the mullet an extra second. They see that net, especially when it's sunny, and they'll come right underneath it. So like I said, you're really good people that mullet fish, you're professionals, commercial guys that do it all the time. If you ever watch them throw a net, man, they will keep that thing low. It'll just skim right over the water. And that makes a huge, huge difference. Little technique things you could do. And you can apply this for anything. Another load of mullet thrown in the cooler. Some nice ones. That's a nice mullet right there. All right, we're gonna bust out the big boy because I noticed they're blowing out of the net. Like I said, that net is very light, and if you get a ton of fish in it, man, they'll just push it out. They'll blow right through it. So we're gonna try a little heavier. I think we'll do a lot better. And this is a bigger net. It's a 12.5 footer. So a little heavier net, so I'm gonna get a little better work out. Oh my goodness. That's a good throw, baby. You gotta see this throw. I didn't open the net all the way because I had a braille line that was tangled, but if you look, check this sucker out. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And I didn't even open that net all the way. Oh my goodness. Whew. So we're headed back in. We are all loaded up. We pretty much filled up that cooler. I was a tad shy, but I don't got much ice, and I didn't expect to get that many fish. So we're gonna head back, grab some ice, and get rid of this fish. You guys got to check out all this mullet we got. We're gonna throw some ice on them. Hey, so we're all loaded up. We got ice on the fish. We're gonna head back home and get some of these mullet cleaned up and cook them up for the process, get that roe out of them, and it's gonna be good. So tag along for this one. All right, so I kept 2 really nice mullet. I sold the rest at the fish market, but I'm gonna show you guys what I got here. Is I got some really nice female mullet, and you can tell the female because it's got a little bigger belly and the size difference. And also, once they start getting full of roe, if you kind of squeeze this belly here, if you watch, see that roe coming out? Watch, right there. That's your yellow roe. So we'll get this one all cleaned up. So when you cut into the fish, you want to be very careful because you don't want to break that egg sac. So what I like to do is start up really high here and just be very careful because we don't want to break this sac. Kind of just run your knife down like this, just down that belly area, and you just want to be really careful. Just like this. Like I said, I'm taking my time so I don't break that roe sac. Because that's what we're after. And if you look, see that yellow part right there? That's the roe. Now it's early November, so the egg sac is not as developed as it would be in, say, like around Christmas time, January, but it's still definitely. There you go, and that's what you're looking for right there. Like I said, you wait till December, January, it's going to be a little bit bigger than that, but for now, this is going to work. So put that off to the side, and I'm going to show you the next one, and then we'll get to that backbone part. See if this one's got a little better row sack on it. Well, surprisingly, this one is white row. You can see I don't want that, so we'll just leave that. That's surprising for the size. All right, we'll get this sucker all flayed up here because we want that backbone. So we're gonna save that fillet, put it off to the side, same thing. Leave a little meat on there, and then we're just gonna take it just like that, pull the guts out, and there's your backbone right there. I'll put that to the side. Same thing, take it, cut. I'm gonna leave a little bit more meat on this one. Same thing, take it, cut. Throw that in there, come down, get all these guts out. Get it all cleaned up here. Like I said, I put a little bit more meat on this one than the other one. That's your backbone right there. All right, so we're gonna get that all cleaned up here. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up here, and then we'll head to the kitchen and get this cooked up. So I do want to keep one of these fillets. I'll show you guys the secret to filleting these mullet is they have red meat real close to the skin. If you look, you can almost see the layer there of red meat. So when you're taking the knife to fillet them, don't push it down real hard on the skin. Come soft across it. So you're kind of like leaving a little bit of room, and what that will do is it will leave the red meat on the fish. You can kind of see right there. And if you look at that right there, there's barely any red meat. But I'm going to cut out that center part because we don't want that red meat in there. You can see, get rid of that little piece. We're going to save that little piece right there. And we're going to fry that up and add that right in there. Looks pretty good. So we got our little platter, a little bit of roe, top loin, and then some backbone. So let's head to the kitchen. We're going to give this a try. Okay, so I'm going to get everything all started up. I got a gas stove here. So we're all lit up. I got my oil. I'm just using some sunflower oil, what I got laying around. We're going to throw this in here. Let that get nice and hot. And we're going to get our grits going right here. Do about half a cup of grits. Throw that in there. And we're going to do about 2 cups of water. 1 cup, 2 cup. And what I am going to do is I'm just going to take this roe. I'm going to cut the sack here. And I'm going to get me a spoon and I'm just going to add it right into the grits. So I'm just going to scoop it out, add it right in there. And what I got here is I got a little bit of Everglades seasoning, and I'm just going to add that right to that. Keep it real simple. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Get this all cleaned up here. And we're also going to add a little bit of cheese to our grits. We got some cheese and we'll add that to it. So we are going to take these nice backbones Like I said, when you fillet them, leave a little bit of meat on them. I really didn't do that with that one. So we'll get this other one in here. When you guys add these in here, be really careful because they have high water content in them, you know, from rinsing them and stuff like that. And what happens is they give you a good little fizzle. So just be careful with that. Take your time. These mullet are so big I can barely get the tail in there. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this. I'm trying to push that tail in there because I want it nice and crispy. Right up. We're going to save this top loin for the last second because that is not going to take long to cook at all. And if you guys can see this, man, woo, it smells good. Like I said, when you guys are filleting it, try to leave a little bit more meat on it. That way you can pick it right off. Take this. Oh yeah. Give it a little flip around. Same thing with this one. Little piece of top loin. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw that right in there. Oh my goodness, look at this, man. Woo, boy. Boys and girls. That looks really good. And you look at that grits. This is gonna be delicious. I'll tell you right now. Check that out. There's your backbone, and you're just gonna pick the meat off that. And we'll get the fillet out of here. I did the fillet so I kind of had a little bit of extra meat. We're going to let that cook a little bit longer. You can see this one, I left a little bit more meat when I filleted it. That way you can kind of pick at it. And check that out. Check out that fillet right there. Looks really, really good. Oh yeah, look at that piece right there. Right here, we're gonna add these grits right on here. Like I said, look at that. Look at that nice yellow color they got on them. Looks pretty good. We'll take our little piece of mullet. I'm gonna put piece on that side, piece on that side, and then I'm gonna crack. Ooh, that is hot. Take this backbone and just give it a little crack so we got a little bit of room, just like that. We're gonna put a piece there, a little piece there, and we got that tail too that we can just kind of chew on, just like that. Check that out. Look how good that looks. That's the backbone, that's the top loin without the red meat, and then the rest of that. So we're gonna give this a try. We'll see how it goes. So you guys, check this out. I put a little bit of more cheese on top, and we're gonna try these grits first. We're gonna see how it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's really good. That's excellent. We're going to take a little bit of this mullet tail here. I don't know if I got it crunchy enough, but oh yeah, that's good. A little bit of loin. Oh my goodness, that's good. All right, and we got the backbone here. And what you're going to do is be really careful because there's bones in here. You just kind of want to pick at it like that. Oh my goodness. Whoever said Mullet is no good, do not believe them. They're wrong. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Really nice flavor to it. When you fry it, it really brings out the richness. Man, that is so good. Wash it down with a little bit of grits. Oh my. Man, I should have tried this sooner. Man, this is so good. Really, really good. Well, I'm gonna finish up this meal, this delicious fresh caught meal. And I just like to say to you guys, I appreciate you guys, all my subscribers that subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, I'm right below 800. So I appreciate you guys for watching all my content. I just want to let you guys know that. And if you guys aren't subscribed and you love this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That's going to help me out, get me some more high quality videos. Hit the like, comment below. If you guys have any questions, as long as it's productive and a positive question, I'm going to answer it. So just hit that in the comments. And like I said, until next time, this is Florida Aquaman, and I'm out.